Welcome. In the next few minutes, we'll talk about how you can bring Ajax to your enterprise. Over the last few years, the user experience on the web has evolved and improved. The really big jump is no doubt Ajax, and now in turn Silverlight. Ajax has really enabled the web to be used as an application platform rather than just a platform for content. As newborns grow, their moves become more complex. This fits the evolution of web development. As technology becomes richer, development becomes more complex. More knowledge and experience is required to leverage the new technology. Same holds true with security. The new client-based technologies expose more services to the client and enrich the client with logic and data, which are very challenging to secure. Security has become one of the critical obstacles in enterprise adaptation of Ajax. If we go back to the days of Web 1.0, the network was the bottleneck. At present, the network is no longer the bottleneck. Now we're dependent mostly on client-side performance with Ajax and in turn Silverlight. An Ajax Silverlight client usually includes client-side connections to services, client-side data, tokens, business logic, UI logic, and much more. These client-side capabilities are necessary to provide the responsiveness, interactivity, and richness that Ajax and Silverlight promise. The unavoidable conclusion is that as compelling as Ajax and Silverlight's interactivity and richness are for enterprises, they'll only be acceptable for enterprise use after addressing a number of critical requirements. Applications must have bulletproof security. Developer productivity is a must for return on investment. A wide variety of enterprise-class controls must be made available. Smooth migration of existing applications from the desktop can really be a critical factor. Applications must be accessible from any standard browser, and offline operability is a common scenario. And this is exactly what the Visual WebGui solution offers, extending the possibilities for enterprise use, much like what Flex adds to Adobe Flash technology, but on a much higher level and without the setbacks that Flex entails. The bottom line is that Visual WebGui technology is an evolution of desktop technologies and development patterns rather than an evolution of Web 1.0 technologies. This fact brings with it many inherent benefits for enterprise IT. Visual WebGui's architecture allows unlimited application data and complexities. In fact, application size and weight don't reflect on the client as all processing is server-side and the server state is projected to the client using only metadata. This architecture provides for a desktop-like UI. With Visual WebGui, developers are offered the choice of a standard Ajax presentation layer or Silverlight, adding an even richer internet look and feel. Take, for example, NetworkD's Inferno product, which is based entirely on Visual WebGui as shown here. A desktop application that was recreated for the web without sacrificing any of the desktop functionality. Inferno was developed in 2 months by one developer, including the learning curve. No logic, no data, no open services on the client make Visual WebGui secure by design. And that boils down to the fact that if we ask system administrators about this new concept, they'd probably say, if nothing's exposed, there's nothing to protect. With Visual WebGui, you can say no to XML, no to XSLT, no to CSS, no to JavaScript. Say yes to drag and drop, yes to WinForms control, yes to stateful applications, yes to very high developer productivity. And even better, your WinForms-based code can run on the web or the desktop. It's a developer choice. Visual WebGui offers extensibility and interoperability extensions which allow you to interact with HTML resources, ASP.NET, .NET Nuke, and other web technologies in a way that makes it an open environment that doesn't lock developers in. Check out what SAP Labs project leader Asaf Sarah had to say on this, and I quote, "By using Visual WebGui, the NetWeaver UI test development team delivered the application with a team of 2.5 developers in 9 months instead of the originally planned allocation of 5 developers for over a year." Web application or desktop application? With Visual WebGui, this is no longer a dramatic question. Your users decide. You develop once and deploy twice, or just migrate your existing legacy WinForms or VB6 code to the web. Microsoft's .NET Ajax Senior Program Manager, Joe Stainer, commented about this feature and said, "Looks like huge value features. Those are key problems for developers these days." With Visual WebGui, only differential metadata goes back and forth between server and client. This proprietary protocol, coupled with specific optimizations, is Visual WebGui's secret sauce. It's the reason that although server-based, Visual WebGui is far more responsive than any other Ajax or Silverlight framework on the market. In fact, in a recent test between different alternative platforms, MS MVP Victor Zyklek concluded, Visual WebGui is an undoubted winner. It did a great job of serving the highest number of requests per second. To conclude, Visual WebGui bridges the gap between desktops performance, security, richness, and developer productivity, and the web's high reach. Running the most up-to-date client presentation layers such as Ajax on a standard browser or Silverlight makes Visual WebGui a strategic enabler of those technologies for enterprise use. Thanks for listening in on how Visual WebGui brings Ajax to the enterprise.